Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to the EPL Index Transfer Daily, ladies and gents. Saturday, the 3rd of August, sun is shining where I am. Hopefully, it's the same where you are. It's a nice, cool, crisp morning with a bit of sun. And I tell you what, speaking of crisp, maybe not too cool, things are starting to heat up in the transfer window, aren't they? There was a few Ornstein bombs yesterday, and it was defenders galore, wasn't it? Because United had a double bid rejected by Bayern Munich, wasn't it? They've been linked with them all summer. Nazar Mazraoui and Matthias de Ligt. Bayern reject the offer. It's being driven naturally by the agent, isn't it? Rafaela Pimenta, who, well, Mazraoui had agreed a deal, had need to go to West Ham. She torpedoed that. Very much wants them to go to Old Trafford. We'll see if that gets done, ladies and gents. And then the other one, Mark Guehi, the Crystal Palace defender, said that Liverpool dropped out of the race and Newcastle are now in talks. They are front and centre trying to get the England internationals. So there's a lot going on, isn't there, at various clubs. We'll see, naturally. We expect United to raise their offer for that Bayern duo. We'll see what comes of the talks for Guehi. And obviously people will wonder, well, Newcastle, there's a few articles put out about PSR issues and their money. What does that mean for Anthony Gordon? And it's interesting because the Athletic have that with all the talk over a move to Liverpool, that Newcastle are planning to open talks with him over a new contract when he returns. So it may be the start of next week. Things really start to move. West Ham fans, things are moving for you. It looks like you've got a free agent, Guido Rodriguez, the free transfer, Argentinian international. Barca had the deal lined up at one point, but it looks like you've pounced as no one else has been able to. Various outlets got that. It also says that you've agreed a fee, according to the BBC, with Nicholas Füllkrug, the 31-year-old German international striker. So you got striker you've been looking for, and we're expecting Somerville from Leeds to join. So could be a triple success weekend for the Hammers, couldn't it, in that regard? All looking good on that front. Speaking of capital clubs, one defender that may be joining them and staying in the Premier League, Diego Carlos, the Aston Villa 31-year-old centre-back, Brazilian international. Fulham are interested in him, according to the Mail. Now, he got sent off in a pre-season friendly the other day. He wasn't Emery signing. You could well see that happen, although Fulham have also just secured Cuenca at the same time as well. Owen Beck, the Liverpool left-back, according to Sky Sports, has a lot of clubs interested in him. Celtic, QPR, Birmingham City, a mixture of loans and transfers, so we'll see what happens there. Arsenal are apparently, according to Football Transfers, interested in João Pedro. Remember him at Brighton, got a lot of goals in Europe, in the Europa, didn't he? We'll see if he is of interest. Sticking on Arsenal, this is an interesting one. Quite a few outlets had this yesterday. Marinakis, the Forest owner, but he also owns, doesn't he, Olympiacos, and I think he's also got another club in his portfolio, is trying to convince Edu, the sporting director, to leave and become his sort of chief exec, move in at the City Ground, but also help control and run all his clubs. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. On the continent, Desire Doué, the Rennes midfielder, the Rennes star, a lot of clubs want him, and there's a few outlets have put abroad. Everyone's waiting on his decision. Is it Bayern Munich? Is it PSG? What does he want to do? Aaron Wan-Bissaka stories won't go away. I think this seems pretty certain, doesn't it? United want to sell him with a year left. He would probably like to leave. West Ham and Inter. And again, I'm saying various outlets. Literally, it is various outlets, papers, online source, stories, whatever you want to call it, are saying that very much Wan-Bissaka has suitors. And United need to do that, don't they? So they can get Mazraoui. So we'll see what happens there. Dominic Solanke to Spurs. Spurs' interest in him was broke yesterday, wasn't it? And it says that Bournemouth, according to Football London, are considering Cameron Archer. So he was on loan. He's a Villa player. He was on loan at Sheffield United, wasn't he? As the replacement. Will be interesting to see what happens there. Tottenham are now not interested in Federico Chiesa, or maybe to say not interested anymore, according to Football Insider as well. And the final one, which seems a pretty good one to finish on, City's defender, not an Ake, not anyone big, Thomas Galvez. You may be thinking, who? Probably the same for me, but he is set to move on loan to Finnish champions as well. So a young defender But we're expecting things to happen. And there's also talks around Nico Gonzalez, Fiorentina winger. Will he move to Newcastle? Scott McTominay as well. I know I said I finished, but I think this is an important one to mention. There's a few outlets have got the bit of a debate between Ten Hag and Ratcliffe that very much Ten Hag would keep him. Ratcliffe happy to see him gone, and it'd be pure profit on the books, wouldn't he, to fuel other transfers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Scott McTominay. Spurs, but more interestingly, Fulham seem to be close to a move or a bid for the Scottish international. We'll see what happens there. What happens in all of those, won't we? Conor Gallagher been banished as well. I'm sure everyone's seen that news. There's just so many crazy things going on. And maybe a lot of clubs are starting to come back from their tour sort of late this weekend, or so by this weekend, we'll see things really hot up. But on Saturday, the 3rd of August, ladies and gents, that was your EPL Index Transfer Daily.